Hi guys. Hi, hope you're well. We're just wanting to update really. We just want everyone to be across the fact that the Handala flotilla ship, the Freedom Flotilla ship, which is heading towards Gaza, in much in the same vein on a new mission like the Madeleine that had Greta Thunberg on board. This is a new ship. They are imminent. They are not far from Gaza, and they are live as we speak. Instagram on the Gaza Freedom Flotilla Instagram account, which I've got running here. So I'm just going to pop this up now. We've got 19 ship members. I believe we've just changed hands. The person who's speaking is now, I think, Huwaida Araf. So I'm just gonna put her up.
Did we not have the feed of the?
No, we can't play it.
Well, I thought you could on StreamYard.
Are part of it.
We
are sailing against it. We do not accept a world where this is allowed to happen. And we do not accept that you continue to ignore our voices. So calling us to say that we will be okay because you will provide consular services is shameful. It is absolutely shameful. We should not be under any kind of threat because we are taking baby formula to babies that are dying because Israel is starving them and our governments are giving them the money and the weapons to do so. So journalists that want a statement from the Handala or for the civilians on board, take that. That all governments who are not actively opposing this siege, who are not sanctioning Israel for its crimes against humanity, are partnering with Israel. And we will not let you forget it.
Here.
So at the moment, they are currently picking up on radar various Israeli ships, and they have about 5 drones above them at the moment.
Which is really intimidating. And let us not forget, those drones are what the Palestinians have been dealing with for almost 2 years and before, but for the last 2 years constantly.
Let's go downstairs and check on everyone. Oh, the mood is high.
So, the point is, they are not doing anything illegal. Israel has no right under international law to take them and you take them hostage. Let's they're taking them against their will illegally, and going to take them to prison, and that's taking people hostage, right? That's abducting people.
Yeah. I mean, as they described it, the woman was just speaking. Oh, sorry.
And the point is, just before that, she was just saying that we're taking food, baby formula, toys, and medicine. So what threat is that to Israel? And she's so right. Damn you to hell, all you Western media and politicians, and the way the language that you use. And actually on Children Not Numbers Instagram today, they talk so brilliantly about that. The language. They are being taken hostage. They are about to be taken hostage. So watch out for how that's going to be reported. So things like Gaza has entered famine. No, it hasn't entered famine. Israel's siege is forcing a famine on Gaza, and these brave souls, and there should be really thousands of them, are crossing perfectly legal across the sea, make the point that they should be fed and watered and given medicine, and they're going to be abducted by guns, with heavy gunfire and soldiers, elite forces.
I can't work out where the audio is coming from.
I think it's from the feed that you've got.
Right. Just my control. So I'm just going to kill that. That's right. Sorry.
That's what I meant. Can we see that while we're doing?
I can't show that to them.
No, but we can see it. That's what I meant.
We can.
So
I just want to say some of the crew then were obviously just describing how, I mean, really the IDF and the Israeli government are like pirates at sea in the Mediterranean. They are enacting their own rules. I don't know if you remember the complete kind of nonsense that developed around the Madeleine, where they were brought into Israel and then accused of illegally entering Israel.
Even though they'd been abducted from where they were perfectly legally sailing their shipping.
Oh, there's more footage coming out. I'm just going to. So what they're doing?
Trying to be calm, grounded.
trying to be
Again,
calm.
put your eyes on Gaza. It's not about us. It's really about what is going on to the children, to the mothers, and to the fathers in Palestine. So please keep your eyes on them. Always focus on that, because we are not the center of this action. Our only goal is to break the siege. So please help us take more action. Call on your representatives and add Gaza to this vote, because this is what we're doing all of this.
Everyone copy in Keir Starmer now if you're on Instagram. Copy in Keir Starmer, flood David Lammy.
Try to hug. Let's go. Wait.
This is symbolic. I mean, one of the.
You can't hug in a life.
I just want to reiterate what a lot of people were sort of condemning. I'll keep this going, but what they were condemning about the Madeleine was the idea that, you know, Piers Morgan, if I heard Piers Morgan saying, well, it doesn't really mean anything, doesn't really do anything, it's all selfie egotism and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, God, you wouldn't know a selfless act if it smacked you in the face.
Not only wouldn't know a selfless act, but wouldn't understand the meaning of symbolism. Symbolism, it's like martyrdom and symbolism. These are things where they represent something more than what they are. This isn't about what's on this ship being able to solve the problem in Gaza. Of course it isn't. It's about publicizing the horrendously corrupt, unfair, illegal rules and laws that Israel have put in place, arbitrary laws and rules that they've put in place in order to keep the Gazans constrained and keep them starved, basically. And it couldn't come, I believe it couldn't come at a more potent time, really. It feels like there are so many converging moments right now. We've got Donald Trump in the UK. You have Keir Starmer with huge numbers of his cabinet, a third of politicians in government, all demanding that they recognise Palestine. You've got Israel basically throwing down the gauntlet and sort of saying in a big gesture of, oh, yes, of course, drop aid in, go and airdrop aid in, which is what they've said to England. And so Keir Starmer has kind of reached for this. It feels like so many things are all converging on one moment. The pressure points for Israel right now feel quite sizable. Do you know what I mean? It's coming from so many different angles. And the thing that always worries me about Netanyahu and this Israeli government is that when they're pushed into a corner, when they feel they're being told off, they tend to swipe out and just double down on the awfulness of what they do. So, you know, again, so this is symbolic. No one is pretending that this solves anything. But I think the other thing about this flotilla boat, the Handala, going in now, I've talked about it. We've talked about it elsewhere on our content. We're reaching a point in this conflict where Israel will heed no warnings or guidance or recommendations from allies or enemies. Let's just get rid of this chappy. And because they won't heed anyone else's position on this, you know, they are alienating more and more people, and they are leading the world to fewer and fewer potential solutions. And I genuinely believe that rather than trying to airdrop aid in, governments, Western governments, will need to have a word with Israel and say, unless you are willing to cooperate, open the borders, allow aid in, represented symbolically by a ship like the Handala, we are going to have to take some kind of military action to ensure that that aid can come in. Now, lots of people are suggesting and even talking about the need for some kind of military action to do this. This isn't military action against Israel. This is military action to ensure the safe passage of aid into Gaza. Because if Israel are saying they can't do it, they won't do it, they can't guarantee it. If Israel are willing to allow settlers to repeatedly destroy and rubbish and soil all of the food that could get in, all of the resources that could get in, if they're willing to, and they're going to do that, there are no other choices for Western governments. Now, of course, the problem is Netanyahu doesn't give a monkey's jollop what anyone says or does if he feels Trump is on board and on his side. And I don't know why, it just feels like, given that he's in Scotland, given that he's essentially here playing golf, it feels like this could be a moment for some kind of change. I'm just going to go back to the live feed on the ship.
Of course, ready to continue to Gaza. We start a trip, we have to continue. We have to Gaza and we are going to Gaza. And we will reach Gaza in support. We live Palestine, free Palestine. We are together one family, very strong, confident, proud of our goal.
I know. I see it. Because we have drones and we have vessels that were coming at us.
Hey Victus, we're on Instagram Live. We have 12,000 people watching right now live. Is there anything you want to say to the world?
We are strong, all everybody around the world. We are strong and we'll fight Israel so Gaza will be free.
Thank you. Victus, our grandmother of Handala. Look at that beautiful face.
Free Gaza.
Free Gaza. Frank, how are you? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good because united with the crew members, everyone's strong, Tam.
Yes.
We're not intimidated. We're preparing. We've trained a lot, so it's something that it's tense because the moment of truth when this happens. But we have anxiety because we really want to get into Gaza and we don't want to stop now. We don't want to be arrested. But again, I think what's happening, this is a typical tool of the Israelis, a strategy to kind of put fear into us, kind of play with us like a cat plays with a mouse. We're not intimidated. We're strong and we're united. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. For everyone that hasn't met Frank yet, he's incredible.
Hi, Frank.
I met Frank last year in Istanbul for the Break the Siege mission with the 3 vessels and 5,500 tons of humanitarian aid that the Freedom Flotilla Coalition were preparing to send to Gaza with a bunch of roughly 800 volunteers at the time. That mission was unfortunately sabotaged, deflagged by Israel and the US. Frank has been working so hard on the Handala for the past few months. Absolutely incredible. Love you, brother.
Love you, Dan. Love you for being here, and we're so glad you're with us.
Thank you, my darling. Bob.
Yes.
We're on Instagram Live. We have 13,000 people watching right now from all over the world. You want to give a little message to them, people who are watching?
Yeah, we're headed towards Gaza. Doesn't matter what happens. That is our goal. It looks like we're being followed by some boats. We don't know who they are. We've also been surveilled by drones for the last several nights. We understand this is a pattern that has happened in the past. But we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going until we break the siege.
Break whose siege?
It's the illegal Israeli siege of Gaza.
That's right.
From air, land, and sea.
And Bob, do you want to quickly tell people who didn't get a chance to watch your video how you identify, just a little bit about you?
I'm a recovering Zionist. I kind of made my first tour of the West Bank in 2019 with the Center for Jewish Nonviolence, and I saw things that were shocking. I was a Zionist, until my 60s, and really never questioned the ideology. It was kind of hardwired at a young age.
Wow.
But yeah, now I spent a lot of time in the West Bank, and I have friends that have become family to me. So that's the word. Come and see for yourselves.
Thank you, Bob.
I'm just going to turn it off just for a moment. Just think about that. Just a moment. Isn't that interesting? Did you notice the way he said that? Did he say I'm a recovering Zionist, or a Zionist in recovery, like an addiction? And I think that's a really interesting analogy because
the brainwashing is very difficult to undo.
I mean, I was seeing some extra footage this morning of the settlers. So I'm just going to.
That's right. I'm on.
You're on.
Of
the settlers, and when you look at the sort of rabid, sort of. Well, not even necessarily. Sometimes it's rabid. Other times it's totally disconnected. It's like there's an empty they're like empty vessels, unaware that what they're doing in any way disrupts or traumatizes or completely tears apart the fabrics of society. Palestinian society. Someone was just asking there, what do they think? Isn't it fascinating, says Natasha Timros, that some people are just so inherently good and some are so inherently evil? It is interesting, isn't it? How are they part of the same species? I agree. Please tell me, says Shilly.
Why are we not allowed to call it fanaticism? Why are we not allowed to call it fundamentalism?
Yeah.
You know, there's a man saying I'm in recovery. It was hardwired into me
from a young age. I mean,
to hate. Yeah. What kind of a society will it be after this? After so much slaughter, so much hate, watching the settlers just filled with violence and rage and my God.
Shilly says, please tell me, Mark and Nadia, do you believe Starmer, Trump and other Western leaders realize that their gaslighting isn't working and are worried about public support? I don't think Trump is. I genuinely don't. I saw him today in Scotland saying, finish the job.
Trump's in cloud cuckoo land. Whoever walks into the door and tells him what they tell him. Netanyahu has him under his thumb like nothing else. So Trump, no.
I think Starmer is in a I hope he is, because he deserves to be in a genuine. He's at a crossroads of the soul, especially given that he's a humanitarian lawyer, especially given that he has prosecuted genocides before in former Yugoslavia, especially as a humanitarian lawyer and leader of the Labour Party. He was quick to describe and define Putin as a war criminal without the ICJ having actually arrested him. So, you know, I think Keir Starmer, what you're seeing in Keir Starmer is a genuine look of moral fear, because he knows he's not making the right choices.
1 second. I think so.
Abduct us, take us into prison, as we saw with the Madeleine and other flotillas. Though the time of imprisonment varies for people, we will go on a collective hunger strike. This is the consensus of the group. We talked about it at length. We have a nurse on board as well who has been helping us train for the hunger strike.
So they're going to go on hunger strike.
We do not want to accept a single bit of food or liquid from the very entity that is denying food and water to human beings anywhere else in the world, who is deliberately using starvation as a weapon of war, and who has done so not just over the past almost 2 years of this genocide, but prior. Again, the illegal siege of Gaza is long-standing. It's almost 2 decades.
I believe this woman now is Tanya.
Body called COGAP.
Yeah, that's Tanya.
Governs who and what comes in and out of Gaza. Items like nail clippers, conditioner, spaghetti, chocolate croissants.
My first live with you guys, Natasha UK. Thanks for being with us all this worst time in my lifetime. I mean,
every time you answer a post or you do anything on this live, make sure you copy in
Starmer.
The newspapers, Starmer, David Lammy, you know, because last time they just let this just slide away, didn't they? Because they just focused on hating Greta Thunberg, a motivated, deeply moral young woman with a conscience. And they just focused all their hate on her instead of on the Israeli
army. You have a handset alongside you, if you want to pull off this and go to it, go to Gaza Freedom Flotilla. That's the handle on Instagram. Go to Gaza Freedom Flotilla. I sent it directly to a number of you guys. I think Natasha and Zoe and many others. What's this comment here? You stand with fire, they will try to make you think. They really brainwash these people, have the cruelest ways to play with your brain. Even if you stand with Palestine, they will try to make you think you're powerless, helpless. So that would stop. I think I understand what you mean. This flotilla barely had any coverage compared. Now, I mean, it's, you know what? That's a really good point, Tam Tam. This flotilla, the last flotilla in the mainstream media, though, had no coverage, did it? It had virtually no coverage whatsoever. When it did have coverage, it was to basically have a crack at Greta Thunberg and call her a kind of narcissistic, selfie-seeking, sort of, do-gooder. That was basically the tone. You're right. This has received even less coverage, and I don't know whether abduction about. You've just posted abduction about to happen.
That's what I'm posting.
Oh, sorry. I thought something just developed. Sorry. Yes. So I think you're right. I think, why has this received less coverage? Is it because there aren't celebrities on there? The other one had Liam Cunningham on there.
Yes.
And I think whether we like it or not.
Actor. They do have an actor.
Yeah, they've got the comedian on there. They've got Jacob Berger on there. I mean, who is the crew? They've got Bob. We've just spoken to.
I'm just
to
copying
Bob.
in all the news channels.
We've got Ange Sahuque from France. We've got Antonio La Picciarella from Italy. Antonio Mazzeo from Italy. Chloe Fiona Ludden from the UK and France. Braden Paluzzo from the US. Bob Suberi from the US. Frank, was that Frank that we just saw then? Frank Romano from the US and France. Emma Farrow, France. Christian Smalls from the US. So it's a much bigger American. There's a much larger American contingent to this crew. Gabrielle Catala.
Oh, well, that's clever
France.
because maybe that does make it more difficult when they're arrested and thrown in jail, not doing anything illegal.
Absolutely. But on that note, isn't it interesting how the American authorities have lacked any real appetite? I think 3 Palestinian Americans have been killed in the West Bank in the last 10 days. So, it is, I think it's a really clever move, rather than having kind of major big names, they've gone for a number of Americans. I want to make sure I've mentioned everyone so I don't miss anyone. Gabrielle Catala, Hatem Aouni from Tunisia, Huwaida Araf, who we were listening to earlier, Justine Kempf, Jacob Berger, we may know he's an actor and comedian, Mohammed Al-Bakali from Morocco, Robert Martin from Australia, Santiago.
Robert Martin is incredible. He has been banging the drum for so many years. Santiago
Gonzalez Vallejo, Spain. Tanya, who's currently speaking. Vigdis Bjorvand, who's the grandmother of the Handala. We just saw her. And Awad Al-Musa. Again, United States, Iraq. And if you actually go through the US, I think we've got something like 6 to 8 of the crew are US.
I'm just copying in politicians, news stations, newspapers.
We need to remember, says Yar Khan, most Western countries are supporting this genocide. Germany, Canada, Australia, Italy, and so on. I mean, I think 7 of the crew being Americans presents a real dilemma for the Israelis. I mean, I think we saw...
Well, except not really, because they have complete impunity. They can do whatever they like.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
But I mean, I can you're better off having some Americans because there might be a little ripple effect. They should have some Brits in there. I wish I was brave enough. I'm not brave enough. That's as simple as that. I'd be too scared.
I'd be brave enough if I didn't have kids. I suppose it's the kids.
I wouldn't. No, even then, I don't have that kind of bravery. To see that. Oh well, no. I mean, God, they are wonderful, and I feel so bad for them that they have to constantly say, this isn't about us. This isn't about us. It's not about our fear. We're strong. But yeah, and of course it's not. They're doing this for those people, but we are able to say about you that you are extraordinary, and to hold these people up as real fucking heroes. It's terrifying what they're doing. Yeah. They are planning. They have been training to go on hunger strike. It is, I've been talking to doctors today. The actual pain of starvation is real. Well,
in fact, you're about to post something.
I was just about to post something about the children, what they're going through at the moment with starvation.
Well, look, Kneecap are on the live.
Are they?
Kneecap are on the live. They're talking. Pals for Palestine. Ireland, they're copying in. So Kneecap are in the chat. I'm just going to pop them back on because they're showing all their cuddly toys, which is very, very moving, actually.
As we all know, the war with the relations going on right now in Gaza.
Hey, Rob. Do you have anything to say to Albo or Penny Wong? They're going to have a watch of this eventually.
Yeah, I do.
So, for context, everybody, Robert is from so-called Australia. That is where I was born, although I don't identify that I am from there. And our Prime Minister's name is Anthony Albanese, and our Foreign Affairs Minister / Senator is Penny Wong. They have remained silent. Plenty of lip service from Albo, but I know Rob has a special message for him.
What I know. I've got a few special messages. This one will keep the broadcast. Albo, you used to be a human being. You actually used to side with the Palestinians. You spoke the truth about Israel demonizing. You spoke the truth about the Israelis moving in and stealing that land, the illegal settlement. But yet you did nothing. You still don't do anything. You need to start doing something. You've got 2 Australians on board here. You better allow us passage. It's against international law for Israel to stop us. They do not have any right. You need to step in and you need to start doing something about Gaza. You need to step in and demand the world allow aid into Gaza. There's a few different sources, a few different places it can go in from. The Mediterranean Sea is a huge one. And we're going to show you that if we arrive in Gaza in the next maybe 7 hours. Otherwise, we get picked up. It'll do a huge magnification of the realities of what Israel's doing. You've got to do better, bro. You've got to do better. Be a human being and help the people of Palestine.
Thanks, Rob. And if you do get abducted tonight and put in prison, what's your plan? I explained earlier that we're going on a collective hunger strike. But
Absolutely. Look, when we get abducted, because I don't think they're going to allow us into Gaza, which it's a precedent that they just cannot cope with. The Freedom Flotilla Coalition are going to send boats regardless. They are going to continue to vote to government to do something. I won't be eating. I'm going to go on a full hunger strike. No water, no food at all. I'm going to take my medication without food and water. I have to have medication. But Tan and I will be doing it. So any release that says that we're eating and we're enjoying ourselves, it's not true. We won't be eating until we get home. We're not going to eat on the plane. We're not going to be doing anything. We will accept nothing. We will accept nothing from Israel. The reason we're doing this is to stop because of the horrific man-made famine in Gaza.
Gaza is not instant famine. Israel has forced famine.
Thank you, Rob.
Thanks, Dan. It's hard to say the word sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, it's
like when you're in the middle and you're bright red.
I am bright red. I am still filming. I think it's so hard to find the words because everything has been said. There's only so many times that you can say something or hear something. And
but on that, that's a really valid point that she makes, and I think we did a live about that.
I'll stay on the live.
The inability to find new words or new ways to describe often the same atrocities, but then ever sort of worsening atrocities, I think is part of the problem. We've talked about that, and a number of you guys have talked about that frustration. But the one thing that's really important, and we find this, is sometimes when we kind of mount doing a live or doing a coffee moaning or knowing that we're going to do a focus on Gaza, sometimes there's the fear, isn't there? There's the worry that, are we just going to be saying the same thing? And actually, it's all about saying, calling out what you see. And if you see repeatedly the same thing, you have to keep calling it out. And that's where I feel the collective, the solidarity of the group of activists and people fighting for the same cause. And when we use language like fighting for the cause, we're fighting for a shared humanity. Let's not forget, we're fighting for to stop the killing of innocent people, regardless of ethnicity, country, whatever. But that's what we're arguing to stop for. The only country that's justifying that process at the moment is Israel and America. And by stealth and by appeasement and by sort of compliance and a cowardly inability to kind of stand up for anything, our government too, I actually think that our government is much more of a linchpin in the next step. If Keir Starmer wants to transform his standing in the country, and I think this is a really important point, Jeremy Corbyn and Zara Sultana's party has gone over 450,000 members. If you were to translate the people who've signed up to this new independent party into membership, it's now the largest political party in the country. The sentiment is run. If you were to what? Say that again, I didn't get that. If you were to translate the 450,000 who now have signed up to your party, Corbyn, Sultana,
I've signed up.
It would be the largest, way past by 100,000, the largest political party in the country. Now, my point is if Starmer wanted to kind of transform himself, all the worst reasons, not because of humanity, not to stop the starving, not to help the children, not to actually because it's
Just
fair
for-
and equitable,
Just for the love.
but just for political survival, the best thing he could do right now is push back against Trump. That's where he needs to show some, I hate using this sort of phrase, but show some balls, some metal, some sort of, just some gumption to say, we don't have to tear up the trade deal. He doesn't need to sort of piss himself and shit himself in a corner with fear that if he is stronger on Palestine, Trump's going to pull the rug. Trump pulls the rug from underneath everyone anyway. The only thing that he's got left to him,
Get ready,
Starmer.
they're saying. Get ready.
Okay.
Big drone, get in position,
Okay.
they're saying. Get in position.
Sorry, everyone. Just trying to understand what's happening. I can hardly see outside.
You guys smell something? Smell something there? Or maybe it's just because it's staying down on the you might just see my arm.
Yeah, Jacob, I think you're smelling yourself. So it looks like there's something in the air. We can't see it clearly. I mean, it could be fog, of course.
I remember on the last with the Madeleine, didn't they fire a load of foam
Yes,
onto the boat?
definitely.
There's something we never found out what that was.
You can't see. I will try to pan the camera
Tagging
out.
people, guys. Must tag.
It's just black because it's nighttime. Sorry, I'm getting texts from some of my FFC team at the same time, trying to just catch up with everything. Yeah, I can't.
So this is a live feed from the Handala, the Flotilla ship. They feel like they're incredibly close to being intercepted. There are boats that they're seeing on the radar that come on and off the radar. They're being tracked by numerous drones and have been for the last however long. The last time, Catriona, you're right.
It looks like,
They
okay,
spray
I'm going to
paint.
try to explain it. We can see the water, but it looks like there's a cloud all around it suddenly.
Wow.
Could it be a sea
I
fog?
see most of the sky. It's really more the ocean
It's
that
just
I can't
speaks by
see anymore.
everything. Yeah.
We can see the waves like right in front of us, directly under the boats, but beyond that is quite difficult to see. Maybe like 20 meters out, 20, 30 meters out. It
Wow,
becomes quite
it's so
close.
scary.
So we want to be
Terrifying.
looking over here because apparently, Chloe, the boats are coming from behind. Okay. Huh? No. Let's leave crew to go upstairs at this point. They're coming from the back, yeah.
They're coming from the back.
Yeah.
Does everybody have everything they need? There's nothing you've forgotten?
I wonder if they'll help, but if anyone else remembers.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
They
You guys
all,
have everything?
they all hurled their phones and stuff, didn't they? Overboard.
Your flashlight. Yes, I did. Please do. Oh, is that what that splash was? I heard a splash before. Yeah, okay. All right, everybody. Do you have any other devices? Where's your laptop? Your laptop.
Yeah, it's right over there. Where you go?
Okay.
Both of them.
Amazing. High five, mate.
So I think they're talking about getting all of their tech, their phones, their laptops
We
ready
haven't seen you yet.
to throw overboard. I don't know if you remember that.
Everybody, this is why he is incredible. He works for Al Jazeera. He has been working 24/7
Right.
and also making me laugh.
He'll
And
get
he
a
is also
tougher
for
time
me
than
to
this, isn't
work.
he?
Yeah.
I now am an Al Jazeera employee,
Oh
right?
my God, he'll get a terrible time. Oh. Live video paused.
Let's just.
We'll just keep that monitored.
Can we have a look on the? Let's have a look on the live feed.
Yeah, I'm just going to go over to the. Just 1 second. We're just going over to the Flotilla feed. They're still on the. Is that present? Oh yeah, no, we're back.
I think everything's handled as inshallah.
It's always so dramatic, isn't it, when it kind of just going to pause that just for a sec. It's always so dramatic when it cuts out. Yeah, and also I'm just going to quickly check the. Obviously, the feed is being flooded with Israeli flags. Is it? If you look at the actual feed, I don't know if you're getting that. I won't put a volume up just for now, but you can see it's a sort of battle of the flags. We had one just on here just a moment ago, didn't we? Dottie Woozle, when the onboard cameras see a light on the horizon, the intercepting ship will be with them in about 20 minutes. Right now, there are no lights on the horizon. Well documented that they intercept signals and electronics. Yeah. We know Israel uses chemical warfare. I'm scared for them. Mark, that was a question I wanted to ask. So, Mark, do you think it would be different without Trump as in big? Here's the problem. I don't think American policy with Israel would change at all. I think it would be less overt. I think Biden, let's not forget, Biden completely was the architect, was the passive, blubby, mentally infirm facilitator of the start of this genocide. I mean, him and what was the name of his fucking foreign secretary? What was his foreign secretary? Blinken. Him and Blinken made a blinking fucking mess of the whole fucking thing. I mean, they needed to have, you know, especially with Trump coming in, they needed to have put in a lot more. So I personally, I have no belief that a different president would have.
Jeremy Corbyn and Zara Sultana need to join this live.
Are you copying them in?
I am.
Yeah, send it to them. YouTube is live. People are copying in people like Billie Eilish, etc. We're going to go back to her for a bit.
Do you need something? Okay, I'll get her. 1 moment. 1 second.
Yeah, just going back to your can we blame Biden though? Tam, I think he had dementia for years. Well, I tell you what, I totally and I'm 100% convinced that Netanyahu and the Israeli regime took advantage of his infirmity, and the Democratic Party surrounding Biden completely spun us an absolute yarn when it came to his ability to govern and make sensible decisions. Is it?
So about 10-15 minutes ago, we tried radioing the Al-Arish port authorities. We let them know we are a civilian vessel that we're carrying humanitarian aid for the children that Israel is starving to death. And we told them that it looks like we are coming under attack by Israeli naval forces, and we're heading towards them and are requesting permission to enter their territorial waters for safety. They still have not responded to us. I'm going to try radioing them again. Okay.
What?
Thank you, Goida. I'll be here.
Of course, we're not going to Egypt.
No.
But if we sail along the Egyptian coast in Egyptian territorial waters, then Israel would have to violate Egyptian sovereignty in order to attack us, which might very well do, but Egypt should not stand for that. We'll see. Right now, they're not even responding to us. They initially responded when I radioed them, but then when they found out what I was asking for, they went silent.
Oh. Has this happened in previous flotillas when you've radioed?
No. None of the ones that you mean to the Egyptians? Never. None of the other ones that I've been on to the radio Egyptian authorities.
I think that's a good point. Nancy's going to keep listening for any kind of breaking out news, but I think that's I just said you're going to keep listening. I'm just pulling up. I mean, she raises an interesting topic there, which I think a lot of people get confused about and have strong feelings about, which is the Egypt's role in this. You know, it's the lack of support and the lack of commitment to the fate of the Gazans by other Arab nations is one of the most unforgivable horror stories in the region. And there are many reasons for why it's happened. And there are many different parts to that story. What you have to understand is, like in most countries, just think about how frustrated we all are with our government, how they're not representing what we want to do. We don't agree with the foreign policy. All the Americans that are protesting against Trump, etc., and his policies on migration, etc. It's the same in countries like Egypt and Tunisia and Lebanon and Jordan. The grassroots populations, the people in these countries, they are, Muslims of all different hues and colors, and Christians and Jews. They are all incredibly furious and anti the Israeli foreign policy in Gaza. The governments are in principle anti what Israel are doing, because it's pretty hard not to be. They're doing it to your people, essentially. But most of these governments, Egypt especially, Jordan especially, are compromised in their total economic dependence on America. And that economic dependence on America means that they have to try and mine. This is no justification, by the way. They have to mine a really kind of, difficult furrow to kind of stay funded, because Trump will just pull the money. I mean, in a weird way, here's the thing. Keir Starmer finds himself in exactly the same compromised situation as countries like Jordan and Egypt do. They need to make the right sounds for their population, which is exactly what Starmer's doing with us. I'm just looking at The Guardian now. There's a story just breaking saying Starmer says that the plan to airdrop Gaza aid and evacuate 20 children will go ahead. The United Nations has said this will only prolong the agony. I mean, it's a tricky one. Any aid, if it gets to any two families, that's aid that needs to get to two families. But Nadia's going to be posting something tonight about the actual danger of just dropping food that's not administered in a meaningful medical way to children or families or adults who have been starving. You can't just tuck into a great big meal that lands possibly on your tent. But where Starmer finds himself in a very, very similar position to Jordan and Egypt, which is entirely dependent financially on America. And that's the deal that Trump was driving for with Britain. He's got Keir Starmer's balls in his gimp suit and he's squeezing them tightly, because he knows that if Starmer steps out of line at all, like the mafioso boss he's learned from the best, Trump from New York, he will just pull the rug from underneath Britain, and that will have potentially devastating consequences. I was just saying, Starmer finds himself in a very similar position to Jordan and Egypt, entirely hobbled. Is entirely hobbled. And the only way out of it is if you, as a country, and I've been saying this quite a bit around the dining table, talking to Nadia's father is Jordanian, saying surely some of these countries must be negotiating with other countries, the BRICS nations. Isn't Jordan talking to Russia? Isn't Jordan talking to China? Isn't Jordan talking to Pakistan, anywhere else, in order to kind of not be compromised in this way? Because there is the distinct possibility in Jordan that the population, and let's not forget there are between 1 to 2 million Gazan refugees already in Jordan, and I think there are 1.5 million in Egypt. A revolution could happen in both of those countries. Now, of course, who would that suit? What would an uprising of the population in Jordan, who would that suit? Israel. And this is what you've got to understand. Israel has a vested interest in every single country in the region being destabilized. Because daddy, as fucking Mark Rutte calls him, the daddy, will just keep sending weaponry and funding you. You're not a going concern as a company or as a country if you can't exist without billions of dollars coming in from America. It's a non-functioning state, Israel. It's an aircraft carrier. It's an aircraft carrier in the Middle East. And they have a vested interest in all of this destabilization. Just going to go back to the live. So I'm not too sure what's happening. What's going on?
It's so she was just doing the other one. She was.
Fast, very fast.
So apparently Christos has just contacted me to say there's an odd ship in the water nearby. It's a friend of ours who's monitoring what's going on. Something's happening. Something's definitely happening. I'm just going to come off just for a moment. I just want to see what you sent me, Christos. Uncrewed vessel in the area. American identification departed from, is it Haifa or Haifa? Yeah.
Haifa.
Haifa. Just looking at a marine. Thanks. What's this? Uncrewed. An uncrewed ship. Is that like a sort of sea-borne drone of some form? Is in the region, underway. It's an uncrewed SD 2011 vessel.
Oh, hang on.
Oh.
So one of their crew members has just seen Fallout.
Just seen what?
I can't leave the bridge right now.
Sorry. Off.
We are less than 64 miles from Mexico. 64 miles? What's the closest flotilla other than the flight that got into what's the one that got closest? I believe the women's boat, which I was not on, was...
Okay, 64 miles away from Gaza.
Alright, give me a shout, okay?
So an autonomous vehicle is in the sea.
I'm gonna come out this way, my love. It's quite squishy with the life vest. Thank you. Excellent job.
So I'm just going to turn off just for a sec. So just to reiterate, thanks for that, Christos. So there's an unmanned, or as someone describes it, an automated ship in the sea. It's an American flagged vessel, though.
So they're nearer than the Madeline was, apparently.
Oh, are they? They have 64 miles. Wow. Okay. So, oh, that's a good view.
We're still live.
I mean, who's posting all the Israeli flags? I'd like to know who those people are.
Might be bots.
Of course. Go.
You can get a good view of other crew members
still
there.
Rolling.
Wow.
Three boats.
Did you recognize 4 boats?
No, we saw 4 lights in the sky, they
4
said.
lights.
In the sky.
No, Chris said for sure that there is.
No.
And in the location, it seems that we changed our direction.
We have slightly started heading toward Egypt.
Towards the Egyptian.
For what way they said to you earlier?
But it's confirmed.
Pardon?
It's confirmed that we changed.
Yes, but let me find out about this, what you just asked. Did you see anything?
No.
No, okay. It was 4 lights in the sky.
Sergio was raised with Chris and myself that way, just there.
Sigourney, you're asking what would an unmanned boat be doing? Like an unmanned, like a drone. It's like a sea drone. I mean, it could be out there supporting the Israeli, the IDF. It could be monitoring. It could be radar reading. It could be providing a sort of radar pulse or backup of some form for the Israeli boats. Don't forget, it was back in, was it 2010 when the Turkish flotilla was boarded, and we were very concerned when the Madeline were getting close and they were being potentially, when they were being boarded. There was huge concern that, you know, with the Turkish flotilla, in 2010, I think 12 people were killed. It was a completely botched boarding and arrest situation. Numerous people died. Have they been blocked? Oh no, it's just gone into dark. 2 million Palestinians are being starved to death under siege in Gaza, says Design Mavericks. Children collapsing from hunger while the world stays silent. Talk about Gaza's starvation. We Yeah, you're absolutely right. And we won't stop talking about it. It's interesting to see who would have been
disappeared off the radar.
What has?
So whatever it was that was following them the whole time has now disappeared off the radar.
Right. Okay. Let me put that on this picture.
Habibi, Roseman Khan, talk to her. She's in the, where I showed you before, the same place. It's the same number. Just see my love.
Confusion there potentially.
That's perfect. We just want to make sure we're getting the right information. We don't want to, lie. We aren't Israel. Okay. Gabrielle, what were you asking me before? You were saying my name. You were saying my name before? Yes. No,
I was saying that you said hundreds of times that this kind of light has not been used.
Yes.
We are shooting. So you see nothing because it's filming.
Yes.
I wonder what the possibility is of them getting a bit. What if?
Can we just take a moment to just say how incredible this calmness. You can feel them all. They have a lot of training. These aren't people that are just jumping into a boat and heading off. They train very hard for this. But psychology, you can feel the solidarity, the calming tones that they will say to each other, the gentle way. It's honestly, it's making me want to cry my eyes out. It's just so beautiful, that kind of like unarmed, the simplicity of it, the humanity of it. And there's how many angry soldiers and vessels and quadcopters or whatever that, on their way to them. It's just the perfect image of what has been going on for 2 years, doesn't it? It sums it all up.
Yeah, the number of viewers now is 16,000. That's the highest it's been. Wouldn't it be? I wonder if there's a curious detail here that maybe everyone's overlooked. It hasn't received as much coverage. Is there any possibility the Israelis don't know they're coming? Maybe that's possibly why they've got a little bit closer.
They've been talking to them.
Maybe they're getting closer. Blue glow in the distance, are they saying? Apparently.
Can you guys see this? No, of course you can't. It kind of looks like a halo of light in the distance.
Where the army they come?
White, blue. Very strange. Just because they're spaced out almost perfectly evenly. But the glow is the same. Like the same size. The halo is the same size.
Drones? Just looking.
Yes, that's right, Big Dis.
Yeah, but we are going, and they, stay there. Probably reefs, probably something like fish here. They're not coming to us, they just pass it by them.
All right, everybody. While we have a little bit of time, again, sorry, I said this before, but if anyone has any questions, maybe now is the time to ask, if you do. So thank you so much for sticking around. This boat is carrying aid for Gaza. Carrying aid for babies that are starved to death right now. And the aid is nothing. The aid is nothing. The Freedom Flotilla has always been about breaking Israel's illegal siege because, sometimes I use the analogy of like an abuser. You don't blame the survivor. You don't start there. You go to the abuser. You make them stop abusing. You don't go to the survivor and put the onus on them. If someone went to help the survivor.
whenever that happens, you can't help but wonder whether they've been intercepted. But I think they would have foreknowledge. So it's going to be getting patchy. Their signal will start to get patchy. And I presume and I assume that what happened on the Madeleine was they started to film short clips. Do you remember? We started to upload them quickly onto the channel as you saw them. It is a good opportunity to anyone who is on board, not literally, but metaphorically too, with the Handala, and they were with the Madeleine and with the whole, breaking the siege. Join the Your Party. Go to Zara Sultana or Jeremy Corbyn's Instagram accounts, follow the link and join the new party. A new party that could potentially radically change British politics for good, as long as they don't fall down any of the normal traps that parties do. This is the longest sort of time. I'm just going to come off and come back on in case it's just a blip.
To help the survivor. Sorry, everybody, I got kicked out. I got kicked out of live, and I'm being called into the bridge. I don't know what these two cuties are doing.
Called into the bridge. She's incredibly, she's so positive, so gathered.
Thank you, Alana. We know you're here. Hi, Greta. Greta's just joined.
Greta Thunberg is on the live on Instagram. Greta Thunberg has just joined the live, yeah.
We are strong.
Port El Arish. This is the civilian vessel Navarre. Handala, call sign Mike Sierra Golf Quebec 6. So I'm going to do that again. Port El Arish. This is the civilian vessel Navarre Handala. Call sign Mike Sierra Golf Quebec 6, calling you on channel 16. Please respond. For those watching, we changed course and started heading south towards Egyptian waters. We are right outside what's called the contiguous zone of Egyptian waters, and we previously requested permission to enter because we were under threat by Israeli forces, and they responded. This was an hour ago. We are trying again. They initially responded when we called them. Then when they knew what we wanted, they stopped responding. And now they are.
So they're seeking help from Egypt. They're seeking help to pass through Egyptian waters, I believe, at the moment. But Egypt not picking up the phone. That's symbolic of the entire fucking 2 years, isn't it? Not picking up the phone.
Have we heard anything at all from any other ships or sailors?
Messages of solidarity.
Yeah.
Sorry, say again.
We had a few messages of solidarity. When I called out to the Israeli Navy, as I mentioned, we have tried reaching them a number of times. They have said in their media that they are going to give us an option of turning around so that we are not captured. They have not reached out to us at all via any means, any modem. And so we proactively reached out to them to tell them not to attack us. And so they lied, but that's not any kind of surprise. They lied. They said that they are planning to give us the option to turn around, which of course we won't. We are sailing to break the siege. They don't need to lie about it.
I'm just going to pause that just for a moment. I'm sure some of you are watching on Instagram too. If it suddenly kicks off, then I'll go back to it. John Wallace, Mark, why are the other countries in the region not helping? If you scroll back when this is uploaded, I did talk for sort of a good 5 minutes really about how compromised countries like Egypt and Jordan really are. They really are quite compromised. Yar Khan says they will kidnap them after 1 to 2-ish when most people will be asleep. I mean, that's when it happened, wasn't it, with the Madeleine? It was around that time. Hannah Needham, one of them received a message from their government asking them to reconsider delivering humanitarian aid. Unbelievable. This is the problem. This is the issue with all of this. And this is why I have a real problem with Starmer saying, yes, we're going to drop aid in. everyone is doing what they call workarounds, is finding a workaround genocidal behavior. Imagine if this was happening in World War II, that what we were doing in order that, Hitler could carry on his aggression, that what you did was you didn't kind of go that way because it would inconvenience him. So to keep him happy, carrying on doing his genocide, we'll go round the back way to do something else. I mean, do you get me? It's so perverse. It's so shocking. It's such, I mean, when you study history in school, hours are spent about Neville Chamberlain and the way in which Britain tried to appease Hitler. And many people claim that appeasement was what led to the atrocities of World War II. We are experiencing exactly the same historical problem. And I'm not talking about the genocide bit of it. How we got into the genocide, appeasement, a fear of stepping down too hard on the gas pedal, a fear of constraining or constricting, self-interest from those countries surrounding Palestine and Gaza. I mean, let's not forget, during this Gaza genocide, the behavior of the Israelis in the West Bank is absolutely horrific.
I think they're trying to talk to them.
It's a second genocide.
This is Handala. We cannot make out what you're saying. Are you granting our vessel permission to enter Egyptian waters?
Is that Morse code? Denied. Egypt have denied access to Egyptian waters. What does that mean?
This is Handala. Please repeat. Will you grant us permission to enter Egyptian waters?
Speak Arabic.
They were speaking in Arabic to each other, saying, yes, we need to respond to him. I'll respond to him, but they responding to us.
Can you speak to them in Arabic?
I thought they were in international waters too.
I didn't know that. I don't understand. What is the significance? Who understands the Egypt thing?
So I thought they were in international waters. I mean, maybe all country.
Yeah, we don't.
Can they still plough through Egyptian waters? Or will Egypt actually stop them? We're now at 19,000 viewers. Mohammed Yusuf.
Handala, go ahead. This is Handala, go ahead, please. Okay, standing by, please hurry.
What have they said?
They asked us to stand by.
Does anyone understand the Egypt?
Do they have to get through Egyptian waters? I mean, bearing in mind, as you just said,
Each time you go through waters, you have to have permission, like airspace. Like airspace?
But I thought there was part of the. I'm just trying to find the.
Hang on. They were being pursued, so they changed course.
Yeah, no, I know Egypt didn't let any of the coaches go through.
Oh, that was disgusting.
They were being pursued, justice equals peace, so they changed course to go into Egyptian waters. So presumably, if the Egyptians say no, well, what happens then? They haven't got the Egyptian won't have a ship there to kind of immediately turn them around and take them back, will they? I mean, I know a number of people were saying that the Madeleine was intercepted between 1 and 2 in the morning, but bear in mind that the Handala has got much closer, and it's that much earlier of an evening.
They can't see any comments or anything now. She just said.
Thank you, everyone. Just a bit sweaty. It's my only complaint.
Declare Mayday, I think.
It's a zigzag. Yeah, they are going. I'm going to have to turn it off. They are going on a they're going on a zigzag. You're absolutely right. I just want to have a look at because we've got the Handala tracker. Let's just have a look at it here. Yeah, I mean they are that much closer than they were. I'm just gonna. Oh no, I can't. I was going to show you footage of them standing on the edge of the ship. I'm looking at 3 cameras on top, 3 sort of fixed rigged cameras, one looking from a mast down at the rest of the boat. All of the crew are
They're 10 miles away, I think they said. I think the ones that are chasing them are 10 miles away. Or
oh, right, okay. What the fuck? Egypt, you had one chance, all the protests happening, and all you had to do is allow them in your waters. You're on the wrong side of history. We will not forget. This is crazy. I mean, it's you know, the part of Egypt's complicitness in this, which is shocking, is where they haven't even helped in the smallest of ways, where there's nothing that compromises their standing. It's like there's just a zero compulsion to help. Now, that doesn't mean that the vast majority of Egyptians aren't sympathetic and supportive of the Palestinians. They are, but this is the government. This is their leaders. This is. I'm just looking at the footage at the moment. Should I put it back on? What's happening?
Out of plan and I'll come back. Give me a call when you need me.
What's the answer?
I won't step on your foot this time.
So that's changed course.
I just banged my head instead. That's the price.
They're saying on Twitter they've captured them. Well, they can't be. This is live.
Actually, let me show you something before I do that. This is why we do it. This is my flag from the colony. It's proudly on the bow of the ship.
YouTube live stream, they asked to dock in Egypt for the night and Egypt refused. So, I mean, you know, it could go on all night. So I think the most meaningful thing to do now is we're going to keep monitoring it. And as soon as potentially it gets to a moment where it looks like, you know, everyone should be screen recording. I mean, stay on the live, screen record, because again, you just never know what could happen once they're captured, if they're captured, once they're taken into custody. You never know what snippet of evidence or evidential circumstances, you know, you might be able to get just from filming whilst they board. Now, I would have thought, am I right in thinking that the last time when it happened with Madeleine, they couldn't have their live feed was jammed. So I think the live feed will be jammed way before, or shortly before, way before they actually get boarded and intercepted. And then what happened was they managed to record clips that they then uploaded or exported or sent out. So, so we'll keep following the process. We'll keep our ear on it and our eyes on it. and we'll come back to you when we know what's happening. But I think we will all together send all of our prayers and hopes and all of our admiration to this band of warriors.
Many others will.
Final goodbye.
What is your message to the world if you get illegally abducted
Egypt
and
said yes.
imprisoned by the Israeli military? And please answer in whatever language you want.
Le message, ce serait quand même de rappeler que si nous sommes kidnappés illégalement, c'est que Netanyahou a de nouveau enfreint le droit international.
Sadly, I can't speak French. So if Egypt have said yes to them, we know you're reading this. So have Egypt said that they will put them up for the night, basically? Let's hope so. So we will update you when we have more information, guys. Thanks for all of your comments. Thanks for all of your camaraderie. Go and follow and join the Your Party as soon as you can. In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to put a link in the description box beneath this. We're going to go. Apparently, Egypt have offered them.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah,
I'm not clear what's
it
happening.
Sounds like Egypt are going to port them for the night. I think.
Yeah.
All right, guys. See you later.
Remember to share.